Okay. I have pressed the button. We are live. Welcome, everybody, to the Xbox Live Party Podcast, episode 24. And it is actually episode 24 this week. So thank you to nobody in the panel for correcting me last week when I got it wrong. So, episode 24. Big thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster. And today I am joined by False Alucard, Slayer Exclusive Gaming, and our good friend Fabio. How's it going?
Doing
Very
good.
good,
How are
sir.
you?
Very, very good. It's warm, but not as warm as last week, so it's always a bonus. There'll be no potatoes in people's pants because the ginner's not here. So it's good. And crazily, this episode is pretty much nearly to the day of our 6 months since you and me, Fabio, started this podcast. So happy
Yeah.
half a year
Congrats.
anniversary. We're going to do a proper sort
Yeah.
of celebration episode next week with a few extra guests because everyone on the panel will be here next week. So we didn't really want to do it while there was a few people away. And
Yep.
yeah, so big thank you to everyone who has tuned in over these last 6 months.
How did we manage to do this? I still have no idea. Guys, what is your problem? Especially Alucard, Slayer. What is your problem? Why did you join us?
Hey man, it's been pretty
It's-
awesome.
Because it's fun, no matter what.
But yeah, we've met some great friends. We've met some great Xbox
Yeah.
community and people in just the general gaming community as well. We'll talk to
Oh
some
yeah,
of
for
them
sure.
next week, I assume, if they're all available to come on the podcast. And
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
we
it's
hope
been
so.
fantastic. So we're going to jump straight in. We have got a giveaway today as well. First up, we did a giveaway on Twitter this week. The winner will be PM'd today. I apologise. I just have been super busy. So the winner of the Twitter game giveaway will get their code after this podcast. I will do it once I've hung up and I haven't got all the screens in front of me. But we're on the episode today. We are going to be giving away a signed Borderlands 3 poster signed by Chris Rager, who is the voice of Mr. Torg. He's also the voice of Hercule in Dragon Ball Z and Super and
Oh,
GT.
nice.
Loads of other
Oh,
video
someone's
games, a load of other animes and stuff like that. He's been in all sorts. So I'll be doing that. This is a worldwide giveaway. I don't care where you are. It may just take a little bit longer to get to you right now because of COVID if you're not in the UK.
Exactly.
But all you have to do is comment in the comment section. Everyone who comments has a chat with us, asks us questions, just generally chit chats. Everyone on there will be entered, and then we'll pick one of you at the end of the show by random,
Yep.
and I'll get in touch with you direct. So if you can subscribe or hit us up on Twitter or something like that, we'll sort you out. But yeah, cool stuff.
Just so everyone knows, this is a really special giveaway because we just got our mark of 500 followers on our Twitter page. This is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Two
exactly.
nobodies. We just started as two nobodies. We are still nobodies, to be honest. But then more people joined. More people had interest into listening to us. So thank you so much for your support. And
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
this
And
is just getting better
there's going to be more and more giveaways going forward.
for sure.
Gaming, merchandise, stuff like that. There's a lot in the pipeline. So, yeah, that's the way it is. A quick shout out to the guys in chat already, Stubbs Gaming and Cerebral Paul. Howdy to both of them.
How you doing?
We had Paul on last week with our discussion about gamer accessibility and in games in general, easy modes, invincibility modes, and it was probably one of our favourite episodes. We had a real fun time. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, you can catch it on demand on YouTube, or you can jump on Spotify, Google Play, or podcast, and all those sort of Apple Podcasts and stuff, and listen to it there. And
Yep.
Stubbs Gaming, I was a guest on his midweek show Wednesday, just
Awesome.
gone, and it was a real fun time. Met a couple of people that I haven't spoke to in person as such, which was cool, and hopefully we'll have him on the show in a couple of weeks' time when our sort of schedules collide. But yeah, thank you for joining us, you guys. And and he's saying he's playing Sega Mega Drive at the same time Micro Machines. One of the best Mega Drive games. If you ever had the original cartridge where it had the extra slots so you could put your extra pads in, they were the best sort of times for retro gaming. One of my favourites. I really wish they would port Micro Machines, the Mega Drive versions, to modern consoles, because the new Micro Machines was pants, really pants. But there's nothing beats classic Micro Machines. We're all good. We seem to be good. Fabio's disappeared. He's back now, so we're here. So we're going to jump straight in and crack on with the show. So what's everyone been playing this week? We'll start with you, Alucard.
Well, now I'm back at work, so I don't play as much as I used to. But I'm back into Fallout 4 for some reason. I don't know what happened. I haven't played that game for like a couple of years, and then I got back into it. I just got like an urge to like build stuff. I don't know where this came from, but I don't know.
Maybe it was that time playing Grounded.
Grounded, yeah, I think that's why. Because
And you decided to play Fallout 4 instead of Minecraft?
Well, because Fallout 4 has like just the atmosphere that I like better.
Okay, fair enough.
But I've been like, I totally want to go back to Grounded because of the building stuff. Like, it's so much fun. I don't know, it's weird. It's like a different mechanic that most games don't have. You know, that
I'm
it's like
just
that.
remembering like the live stream that we made of Grounded. Well, that I think we spent like 1 hour of the whole live stream just building the fucking base that for some reason we decided to make it giants. Like, holy fucking
It's fun, like, because like Grounded is a lot of a different look of a game, and you know, you're using like nature, you know, and like, so it's different from like Fallout 4 building, but it's yeah, it's different, you know, but it's still like, I just love that when games have stuff like that, because I mean, you can spend hours just building stuff, you know, and you don't have to worry about anything else. And no, but then I was playing Death's Door. Yeah, I was playing Death's Door. That game is really interesting. The warning with that game is that they don't have a map. So, which is kind of annoying.
I saw that video where if you chop the sign in half, like in the game, and then you go to read the sign, it's chopped in half. It's just little things like that I thought was ace.
Yeah, I know, that's so weird. Like, I did that. I chopped it in half. Then I was like, oh, maybe I should have like looked at it, and then I couldn't read it because it was chopped in half. Yeah. I was like, oh crap. So yeah, that game is like really interesting because I love games that have like an artistic style. You know, and that game is totally like, it's like a dark artistic style that I like. So I really appreciate that. That's why I loved Cuphead so much, because of the art form, you know. And both games look like they might have been hand drawn. I know Cuphead was. This game has that interesting look, and I fought like a boss that was like, it was a castle, but it was like a monster that was shaped as a castle. That was really interesting. Nice. But this game is going to be a game where you die a lot, and usually I don't like those kind of games where you die like 500 times, but this game has me kind of like grinding through that part.
Is this game like there is a game I think that it does remind me a lot. I think it's a game called Below, something like that, where you die a lot, and you have some sort of isometric view somehow, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly if that's a game. It's something like that. Does it remind you of that game?
This one's more faster pace, I would say, than that game. That game's really slow. Because that game, you have to like craft and stuff like that, and this game doesn't. You don't do that. You don't like have survival aspects to it. So, but it has an interest. It's interesting because everybody's a bird, you know. So like you're a reaper, but you're like you look like a crow, and the combat's pretty good. So that game is really cool. If you want something that's you know, it's kind of retro, I guess. You know, I don't know if it's roguelike or what. I don't know. I don't know if it's really roguelike, but it's some people's. So.
Like when you die, do you restart from the beginning, or does it have?
Yeah, you start back where your last door you came from, because they're called death doors, and so you have to like discover those. Those are like little like save points, kind of. It has puzzles, so if you like puzzles, kind of like Zelda stuff mixed in there.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. I got it for $15 because it was on sale. It was like a pre-order sale. I thought it was going to be in Game Pass, but it's not.
I think it's still on sale as well, though. I think you've got like a couple of days to get it slightly discounted.
Yeah.
It's like 10% or 20% off.
Yeah, I recommend it.
I thought they would actually use the Ultimate Game Sale that is going on right now to keep the sale on that game, to be honest.
They might do, yeah. Who knows? Especially with how highly rated it is. It's one of the highest rated games, if not the highest scoring game on Metacritic this year. Now, I don't follow Metacritic, but I think that's really nice that like an indie game is doing so well. That. Yeah, it's at like 90 something, 94 or 97 or something crazy at. So
really,
yeah, it's not my type of game, but I really want to try it. So
awesome.
Yeah, I like it. The boss battles are pretty cool. I've only fought a couple of them, but looks like it's gonna be. They get more interesting. I've seen some really interesting. Like that's what I like about it. It's just like kind of I guess it's because you're collecting souls. You're a reaper. But it doesn't take itself too seriously. It has some little like jokes to it because you're playing as like a looks like a crow. So,
yeah.
I know. But there are other creatures walking around that you can grind and harvest like energy from, and then you could upgrade yourself. Get different like abilities and everything. So I think it has everything that you're gonna want in a game. That kind of like action adventure, Zelda. I would say more Zelda mix with Dark Souls, I guess they call it Dark Souls, because it's tough and it's going to get even harder. I can see it. So, yep, that's what I've been playing.
Nice. What about you, Fabio? What have you been playing?
So, I've been playing. How can I explain this? I decided to buy 2 games, and the 2 games that I ended up buying that were on sale from the deals with gold thing were Lego Hobbits and Mortal Shell. And Lego Hobbits, there's no need for me to explain, to be honest. Like a Lego game, but in the Hobbits universe, but following the movie steps. Really enjoyable, kind of rushed, to be honest, in terms of how the story goes, but really enjoying it, really fun. I love the atmosphere of everything that reminds me of Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, so yeah, I'm down for it. And Mortal Shell, I'm actually really enjoying it because it's a Souls-like game optimized for the next gen console. So I have the option to play on my Series S at 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60 FPS, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it so far, but it's tough. And the other game that I would like to just make a really honorable mention that I just played during this morning, to be honest, was the classical Bard's Tale trilogy from In Exile game. Like I love it, to be honest. I always loved it in Exile, but to be honest, Bard's Tale is a game that I'm not talking about the Xbox original Xbox game. I'm talking about the classical one, the ones that were born in the PC era, to be honest.
Okay.
Like the remastered trilogy, and it's so good, man. Like if you are a fan of tabletop classic RPGs, you will love this because it's not for everyone. If you have imagination of imagine yourself in a match of tabletop classic RPGs, and if you like a lot of reading, because you will do a lot of reading during this game, you will love the Bard's Tale trilogy. It's just so awesome to see how In Exile managed to keep that part of their history. Like these guys are just they are like the pinnacle of the beginning era of RPGs coming to video games. So yeah, really loving.
Have you
Really
played the
loving.
fourth one? Is the fourth one any good?
Yeah, it is. It is quite good. It is way more updated, to be honest, in comparison with the first one. But I'm just playing the first one because I love the classic vibes of a tabletop RPG
Oh.
match. To be honest, simple as that. It blows my mind every time that I ended up playing it. And that's for me. That's it for me, to be honest.
What about you then, Slayer? What you've been playing?
And Ash just disappeared.
I am here. I am here. I'm just about to I'm just rearranging, so I don't really want to be on camera for 2 seconds. But I am here. So what you've been playing, Slayer?
Yeah. So for me, I finished up a couple of projects. I wrapped up Dying Light.
Nice.
And then so that the base game of that is done. Recorded all that footage and basically already edited it, so that was awesome. Then I actually updated a couple of I played through Dark Grim Meropolis again because they recently updated the achievements, so that's one of the indie games that I played through. Castle of No Escape, I played through that again because they also updated the achievements for that, and
Takes like
they
5
actually added
seconds.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, one of them is actually kind of random. It's just one achievement where you got to get a specific curse, and then you have to like try to use a torch. That one takes a while because it's based on chance.
Oh, I'm thinking of
And
Castle of No Escape 2, which takes literally 25 seconds to
Yeah.
get the 1000G that they've
Wait
updated.
a
Yeah,
sec, wait a
yeah, yeah,
second. For you to get an achievement, you need to be cursed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it plays like an old school sort of dungeon
Mhm.
crawler game, and each square does something, so it's sort of random if something happens to you. And I just want to apologise. I've been calling the developer Exitalon for ages, and they emailed me and said you're saying it wrong. It's Xetalon. So apologies.
Xetalon, okay.
Yeah, Xi like S
Oh,
E
Xetalon.
Talon. So we've been saying it wrong all the time, even though it's XI. Apologies to the dev.
Wait a second. Wait a second. We've been saying it
Yeah,
wrong all the
yeah.
time. You've been saying
yeah,
it wrong
if
all
one
the
of us
time.
says it wrong, we all take the blame. So stop being a
All right,
bitch.
Xetalon.
Xetalon.
Please,
Keep that in
Xetalon.
mind. Xetalon, okay.
So I apologise
keep
for
that in
all
mind.
the reviews and things I've done where I've completely butchered that. I based it on what other people had said on YouTube, so I just assumed I was
Yeah.
close enough. But no, that is
On
from
the
the developer email directly. So
on behalf of the whole podcast, we would like to say that Ash fucked it up. Okay.
that's right. Yeah. Right. I will be
Yeah.
back in 2 seconds. So continue what you were doing.
No worries, yeah.
What a professional. Go on.
Yeah, I've actually been saying it wrong too because I've done some videos on their games as well. So, but anyway,
Cut that part out of the podcast. That's it.
all right. So yeah, I also played. Actually, this Rocket League is like my mainstay. Like I pretty much play that on every day, and I actually for the first time, I haven't sent you guys, but I freaking made it to champion rank. I was so excited. Because I play Rumble with a friend of mine, and that's a rank mode. So we got to champion, which is like right after Diamond. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I've never even imagined I could get that far. But yep, definitely getting better at that game. And
have you just
hard.
became a pro player?
what happened?
Are you a pro player?
I
now?
mean, no, I don't think I'm there yet. But
are you going to gain millions out of playing this game?
I make some pretty
Playing
good
on
shots
tournaments?
here and there and some good plays, but I don't know if I'm considered a pro yet. I don't think I could stand up to the best because I'm only learning how to fly now, and that's like one of the hardest things in that game in my opinion. I have no idea how to feather my boost like some people do. Like that I just see that I'm just like that's insane.
But
Rumble is like meant for people that are not. It's not necessarily all about skill because you have the powers, so it's like it's based on a little bit of like luck and just knowing how to use each power. If I played regular ranked, I'd probably be like maybe platinum, diamond. I don't know.
there's no online game where it's all about skill. It's about who cheats the game first. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah, and then because like one of the things I hate about that mode though is that like it's just super random and it's just all RNG, because like there's games where like we play and the other team gets like three freaking plungers right after one another, and we like none of us get like one like throughout the whole game, and it's just like, why the hell does that happen? It sucks, but it is what it is. And then my final game for this that I played this week, and I've been playing this game for a while, so this is not my first time playing it, but I decided to my friend and I decided to start Elder Scrolls Online from scratch. Create new characters and just start off like with the tutorial and just play through every single area and just get through all the quests and explore like thoroughly and everything like that. So because we
Nice.
both gotten really into that game, and recently it had its 4K update on Series X, so been enjoying that.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely want to keep playing that.
Man, I gotta tell you, like to play Elder Scrolls Online at 60 frames per second is like it's just another game. Just
Yeah.
amazing to me. I've been playing at 60 FPS on my Series S. It's just really awesome. The same thing as I've been playing Skyrim at 60 FPS thanks to the FPS. It's
Mhm.
really awesome.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to love it.
I
Do
think
you
there's a
wanna play
120
together?
FPS boost, I believe.
Yeah. Like I need to see
Like if you
there
don't do
is,
4K
no, I
on the
think
Series X
on the
anyway.
yeah, on the Series X maybe. On the Series S is 4K 30 and 1080p 60.
Oh,
Or
okay.
4K or
Man.
1440p for what I remember.
I want to get like a new TV now to get all the like 120 and all the new features, man. I'm so tempted of getting a new TV, but I'm like, no, I don't want to spend the money. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean my TV doesn't support 120, so like I can't even. That's why I keep
Yeah.
everything. One of the reasons why I keep everything at 4K, because
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe
I prefer graphics
may-
anyway. So
yeah, but like maybe after the pandemic ends, so the prices get lower. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah.
something that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I
about
don't know.
you,
Did-
Ash? Go
Oh.
on, Lucas. Sorry.
Yeah, go on,
No,
Alucard,
no.
before I jump in. Go on.
No, I didn't know if prices were jacked up for TVs right now. I have no idea. Like, I know there's a shortage of chips and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I
It
would
doesn't.
assume
It doesn't
that
seem to be affecting
Is it?
TVs as such.
No?
Not as major as the consoles and stuff. I really want a 120 TV, but the price over here, it's astronomical. I mean, I've got a 4K 60 UHD TV, or not UHD, HDR should I say, and it's
Yep,
great.
same
It does everything I need. It looks fantastic, but I'd like to get a 120. I'd like to get a VRR one as well, but I haven't got.
Yeah.
I don't want to put $1.50 down on a telly right now when I don't desperately need to. I mean, there's only been
Yeah.
I think 2 games I've played in the last 6 months that I've had any sort of frame tearing on, and the worst being Assassin's Creed, and even then it wasn't that bad. I can live with it. Like, it's not worth $1.50 right now. I will get one eventually, but I'm just waiting for the next wave of tellies to come out, so the ones that are out now drop down to sort of like the next price level down, so I can sort of join in and get one then, because I don't want to spend a fortune to not get the use out of it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought a car, so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna spend any money right now. I just spent
I
a
don't
bunch.
want to spend. No, I need to be careful with the money that I spend. Oh wait, I just bought a car. Fuck.
I mean, that's where all. I mean, like
man.
that's
a
bought
that's a
my- I
necessary
bought-
purchase.
Yeah, I bought my big purchase, so I think I'm good
Is
right now.
is this what you've been doing while you were not working? Was that your plan all along? I'm gonna break my leg so I don't have to work, so I can spend my money on a car.
No,
That's it.
don't say
And on the
that.
Series X.
Like, you can't. Hopefully, nobody at work is seeing this. You know?
he can walk.
Oh my
He
God.
lies. We're not condoning any of this kind of behaviour. Do you know what I would have?
Imagine
I
being
would have
qualified.
killed for to have been on furlough. I know people in my company that have been on furlough for nearly 2 years and full pay, because our company, fair play to my company I work for. I don't know if they still do, but when the pandemic started, if you went on furlough, they were paying 100%. because in the UK, the government pays me a wage. They paid, I think it was 80%, and our company offered to pay the rest. So it was like you weren't on any difference. I've not had a day off through the pandemic, and I'm gutted that I've
Jeez.
worked. Like
Jesus
I've obviously
Christ.
had normal days off, but I've not had a day off sick or like because of COVID.
Wow.
When I have been home with scares or waiting for test results, I've worked, so I didn't get to sit around on my arse and get paid. And I'm gutted that there's people that are still on furlough to this day. It just baffles me. I wish I was sat at home doing nothing. I'd do a lot more videos and a lot more podcasts, I tell you now.
Yeah, me too.
Big thanks to Stubbs
I just wanna
Gaming
point
for
out-
tweeting out about us. Everyone in the chat, if you're on listening live,
Thanks so much. guys.
if you can give us a like just to bump us up the YouTube algorithm, give us a share on social
Yep.
media, Twitter or Facebook, and to let people know, because like I say, all you have to do to enter this Borderlands 3 poster competition that's signed by voice actor Chris Rager is literally just leave a comment in the chat. You can just say hello. You can say we're shit. I don't give a crap. Just come in, watch the video for a minute, put a comment in. I'd rather you stay and watch the rest of the show, but for the sake of competition, just leave a comment. Stubbs is saying he broke his knee in 2 places in October. Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, the pain.
Yeah, I'm just imagining now that I may have made Alucard lose his job. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where do you
I
work,
never
Alucard?
know.
But so what I've been playing this week, let's have a think. So we played Halo 2. Was it last night? Last night we jumped back into our
Yeah, it
Halo
was
2
last
Legendary campaign, and we actually finished another
Jesus.
level after many
Third
hours.
level.
Yeah, we're
Third
through
level
3
out of
levels now.
15.
We're gonna get there.
Like, man, this last level was just a nightmare because of so many sniper jackals.
And really bad
Tank
respawns. Like,
battles.
yeah, but we kept getting checkpointed at the worst places as well. So
Oh no.
we would respawn. There was one section, Fabio rushed past to get to a checkpoint, and every time we spawned, I would stand here and 2 ghosts were flying at me, and I'm like, shit. So we managed to get past it in the end. It took a while, but we did it, and it was a good laugh. And honestly, I'm quite enjoying Halo 2, even with the replaying of when you die, it respawns you back to checkpoint when only one of you dies. I'm actually really enjoying it, and I feel like we're going to absolutely fly through Halo 3 when we come to it, because we're so used to playing like and not dying at all. Whereas if one of us dies in Halo 3, we're like, yeah, be right, just hide in a corner, they'll respawn. So
Exactly.
it's going to take us a year to play Halo 2, and then we'll finish Halo 3 in like a weekend. We'll just be like, that'll be it. But other than that, I've actually been playing the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 because it's on Games with Gold this weekend for free. And I thought, yeah, why not? I'll try that.
Oh, wow.
It's all right. It's very, it's more cartoony than past iterations of like the Olympic Games. Like I'm dressed as Sonic. Men and women compete together. You get like stupid flames coming out of you when you go fast and stuff. So it's all right. It's on free for the weekend, free to play weekend. So feel free to have a play of that if it's something you're into. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I've been playing through a few games for reviews. Tank Mechanic Simulator. If you're into those sort of mechanic games, this one will probably be right up your alley. It was all right. It was a bit slow for me and a bit too menu-y. Like there was a lot of text and menus and different wheel menus for different things, and it just seemed a bit long-winded. But the mechanics are there. There's a lot of depth to it and stuff, and you don't just repair them. You go out onto site and stuff with a metal detector, looking for parts and looking for like blown up, like
Jeez.
covered tanks and stuff, and recover them, which is quite nice. So it's not just fixing tanks in your garage, but I'll be doing a sort of first impressions video on that soon. I played Mind Maze, which is basically a video game version of squares or dots if you're from the UK, where you have to make squares to get a point against your enemy. Rock hard. I suck at squares. I suck at dots. So I sucked at this game. I it took me forever to get like through the first section. The computer handed my ass to me in every time. But if you like those sort of puzzle games, you'll probably get right along with it. It's not a bad game. It's just I am not very good at it.
Well, at least you are honest.
Yeah, exactly. I played Cave Bad because it was on sale for like £1.50. It's like a 2D sort of randomized dungeon explorer game, and you've got like a pickaxe and you have to kill enemies and blow boxes up. Actually, way more fun than I was expecting. I just got it for achievements, but I actually really enjoyed it. So I've recorded the video and I'll do a review of that, because normally I wouldn't, because it's just like I'd normally play it for like half an hour and delete it once I've got the achievements. This one, really enjoyable, reminded me of like old school SNES games and stuff like that. So I've highly enjoyed that. I played a bit of Anodyne 2 Return to Dust, which I'm done a review of. It's up on the channel now. That's like a 3D and 2D RPG and dungeon game. It looks like a PS1 game when it's in 3D, like really old school, those sort of textures and character models. And then when you go into the dungeons, it's like 2D, like looks like a Game Boy Advance game. So it's got like a really alternating art style. I've really enjoyed that. And then the main game I've been playing this week of note is Last Stop, which has just been released and is on Game Pass, and it's what's currently playing there to the left. It's like an interactive experience game. Kind of reminds me of Telltale and the Don't Nod games, like not Stranger Things. It's totally gone. What game does Don't Nod make? It's just not
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange, not Stranger Things. It's like that. So you walk around a bit.
Strange, tell me why.
Yeah, tell me why. It's like that. Well. So you walk around a bit. There's a lot of dialogue where you can pick the options, and then there's a few quick time events and a few things where you can interact with stuff and do things. But so far, I've finished the first couple of chapters. You're basically playing it from 3 different people's perspectives each chapter, so you play each of them separately. And then you can start the next chapter and play each of them separately. And you can play them in any order, but they all sort of link together. I couldn't tell you the entire story because I'm still not 100% sure what's going on. And it's slowly unraveling. But it's really cool. If you like those sort of games, like you like the Telltale games, you like the Life is Strange type of games, this is something you'll love. And it plays really smoothly. It's based in London, and the actual dialogue is really... accurate as well. It doesn't sound like fake Cockney or out like that. It's not like Dick Van Dyke's fucking singing in Mary Poppins and all that. It's very good. It's very close to what it should be. The story's quite interesting. It's a bit odd, like the first chapter of one of them is this guy, and basically the first chapter you literally drop your kid off at work and go at school and go to work and have a shit day at work and come home. That's it. But it's really interesting. It really grips you. So I highly recommend trying that out, especially with it being on Game Pass. And that's what I've been playing the last 2 days. So I highly recommend that for anyone who's into sort of the adventure games and stuff like that. But this week I've not played a lot. I've been going into, like I said, I've tried to cut down on the just focusing on getting 1,000 G on games, and I'm just playing for fun at the moment. I'm playing from start to finish through a ton of games that in my backlog, and I've got a handful of games for the 1,000 G that I'll play when I need to play them, basically.
As usual, Ash trying to compensate something by making 1,000 G on as many games as possible.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been too focused. I've not wanted to start a few games because I'm like, I haven't got the time to commit to get that 1,000 G right now. And I just didn't want to start it. And I'm like, I've just said, bugger it. I'll just play the story. And then if I enjoy the game, I'll go back and get the achievements. If not, I'll just delete it and play it another day. Do you know what I mean? And I've got, like I said, I've got a backlog of tons of games to go into to do achievements later on. So I'm never going to be short on achievement games.
Fair enough. Especially because of that, so many review codes that people send.
Yeah, I've got a lot of review. And Freddy Spaghetti 2 came out today or yesterday. yesterday.
Game of the year.
Game of the year, Freddy Spaghetti
No,
2.
Slayer, don't.
You
don't
play
make this joke,
as a
okay?
sentient
Uh,
bit of spaghetti, basically. And if you haven't seen the
okay.
first one, I've done a review of it. It's ace. But
The first one is quite tasty.
yeah,
I've
but-
done a full playthrough of that one too, of the first one. Yeah.
yeah, it's a fun little
quite
game.
fun.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to 2.
How
And
fun
it's
is
like
it?
$3.99 on the store, so I'll jump in and
Nice.
try
Yeah.
that. But we shall
I
jump
may end
into
up
the
buying it.
topics. We shall jump into the
Let's go.
topics. So, first up, we have just had the EA Play Live 2021. This was basically like an EA sort of showcase. They announced a few things. It wasn't anything super huge. There was a few announcements that people probably want to get hyped about, but a lot of it was just updates to existing games. So we'll go through that bit by bit and talk about that. So obviously they now own Codemasters, and they announced Grid Legends for 2022. If anyone who's played Grid, this is obviously a sequel to that. And it says here, this is a live action story mode with actors such as Nkuti Gatwa, who is Eric Effiong in Sex Education. So it looked all right. It doesn't look like it's a direct sequel to Grid. But what did any of you
Like-
see the trailer for that?
No, I didn't.
No, but like this is kind of how can we attract people to our game? I know.
Just
Let's call an actor from Sex Education.
But just imagine it's like
Okay.
live videos. So it's like the old school games like Command and Conquer and stuff like that, where it's like real video people, not CG or anything. They're like live actors being recorded, and then it goes into gameplay, which I always hate because it always throws me out of games when it's like a real
Yeah.
video. Apart from like Command and Conquer and stuff, and all those stupid games like where you had what was the game that had Tim Curry
Oh.
in it, and he was just loving it. I can't remember what it was called, but he
I don't know if you can
overacted.
Command and Conquer and stupid right after, man.
No, but they're just
Yeah, you know what,
it's
shit.
just the videos were stupid. They were over the top,
Yeah.
campy fun, and it worked.
Yeah.
They weren't taking themselves seriously, and the gameplay made up for it. But I'm not a fan of those sort of games
Yeah, me
all the
neither.
time.
Like me neither, to be honest. Like Local Cycle, the last Twisted Pixel when they were part of Microsoft Studios, that this was their last game before they ended up leaving Microsoft Studios. They made this stuff with live action cutscenes and gameplay. It didn't work out for me. So yeah. So
Oh.
bizarre.
They
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was a weird. Game.
That was a
remember that.
really weird game. Like it's good for achievements. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. You can have some sort of fun in that game. But like this is like holy fucking shit. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like James Gunn is an actor in this fucking game for some reason.
I actually played that game like a year ago, I think, or 2 years ago.
What's it called
First
again?
time, and I was like, wow.
What's it called?
Huh? Oh, Local Cycle.
Yeah. I'm just googling it to like see if I've got it in my collection.
It was
Fun
one
little
of
game. It's like it
the-
was like what 5-6 hours, I think.
Might
But
have a try
Yeah.
then.
yeah.
stuff like it's pretty arcadey game, pretty simple, but it's like I think it's their weakest game, to be honest. From we had Mr. and Mrs. Explosion Man, we had the
Oh
Bomb,
yeah. Mhm.
we had what other games from Twisted Comic Jumper, something like that. Like
Yeah. Comic
so
Jumper
many
was
good
awesome.
games, and then we have Local Cycle, their worst job ever. Like so bizarre, but good for achievements. At least there's that. What else?
It's a little bit of grinding for the achievements, but yeah, it wasn't. Bad.
What else did they announce? They announced a Knockout City Season 2, which contains a map of ever-changing movie-inspired arenas called the Hollywood Drive-In, a new ball, a new playlist or two, gear and rewards, and Fight at the Movies will launch on the 27th of July. They announced Apex Legends Emergence, so that's the next major update for the Battle Royale, and that launches on the 3rd of August, and it's got a new character called Seer. Then one of the things that stood out to me most about it, they announced a indie game, or they may have already announced this indie game, but they showed off an indie game called Lost in Random, and this was a really creepy looking game, sort of reminded me of like the old Alice games, and it's basically like one of these twins, and they've got a dice. And it's such a weird battle system, and the scenery and the sort of theme around it and all that looks absolutely creepy and absolutely awesome. So I'd not heard of that one before, and now it's on my radar. It's just, if you haven't seen the trailer of that, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's got decent voice acting. It's got really cool character designs and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to jump on that. Did any of you see that? You're all going to be like, no, I haven't seen that. No.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually looking at it right now.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look like Alice in Wonderland. You're right.
Yeah.
Can you blame us for not that much into an EA?
The only reason I saw it is because it was on the Xbox YouTube channel the other day, and I caught it when I was browsing. So I honestly didn't watch the EA Play Live. I just watched the odd little bits I saw later on. Next up, they announced Battlefield Portal, which did unfortunately leak a couple of hours before. And basically, this is a mode for Battlefield 2042, and it lets you mash up parts of Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3 in custom maps. You can basically go on it and design your own game mode, so you can have like 100 chicken-sized robots versus one tank and stuff like that. Crazy, stupid stuff.
I just wanna send a huge shout out to Logic and Sensei from Sensei Sports, because they just lost their minds when this was announced. Like, they just loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and it looked like they were having like, you had like soldiers from World War II fighting modern soldiers. It was like, holy, what the hell?
It was the guy running around with the defibrillators that got me, and he's like running around, boom.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
And there were there's loads of like maps coming back from the older games, which I love. And honestly, this made me want to buy Battlefield 2042. I mean, it looked amazing before, but I'm like, it's multiplayer only. Will I get a lot out of it? And then I was like, yes, I'm going to get so much out of this. This is going to be fun. Custom games, custom game modes. It kind of reminded me of like a Forge mode. Do you know what I mean? For like Battlefield.
Nice.
So I'm super pumped now. I'm more interested in Battlefield than ever before. Apologies to Cerebral Paul. He's called me out for don't bash Command & Conquer. I'm not bashing Command & Conquer. Command & Conquer is one of my favourite PC games, but I'm on about the live action videos are so over the top campy, but they work. But a lot of games that do these live action videos don't work. There's very few. I think there was that Command & Conquer. I don't know if that's the one with Tim Curry in. And then there's a live action game, and it's Space something or other or something like that, and it's got Mark Hamill in it, proper camping it up. They work really well. Every other game I've sort of seen this in doesn't. I'm sure there was like a Need for Speed or something like that had a game like that where they were like live action talking, and then you go into the game. It just throws me out of it. Whereas like with Command & Conquer, it puts it on like it's a video message, and it kind of works. I love Command & Conquer.
Also the actors, make a big difference.
Yeah, they look like they're enjoying themselves in Command & Conquer, don't they?
Isn't this game the one where Tim Curry says capitalism, something like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just stupid.
But it's fine. It's not that bad.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, Battlefield Portal looks fantastic. And then the big announcement, obviously the final announcement, was a Dead Space remake. And this is being made by EA Motive, who made Star Wars Squadrons. Not the best EA studio out of all of them, but it looks nice what they showed. And it's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. So it's next gen only. And there was no release date. It's just, we are bringing it out at some point. We didn't have enough to fill this show, so we thought we'd put this teaser at the end to at least get people talking about it.
I'll be
Like,
honest, like I haven't played a single one of those games. I actually tried. Like I was gonna.
Scary.
I know, I can imagine. I tried playing the first one, with a friend of mine when it first came out, and this wasn't like because the game was boring or anything. Like we started playing it like at 2 in the morning, just to kind of like add to the atmosphere, and and I like we were gonna like pass the controller like every now and then, just to like kind of get to play it at the same like together at the same time, and I fell asleep, and he actually managed to stay up till like 6, 7 in the morning and pretty much beat the whole game. And when I woke up, I just see him there in the fetal position. This was like when we were teenagers, so he was like, he wasn't used to, I guess, scary games or anything like that. So like, I wake up and I'm just like, I'm like all drowsy. I'm like, what's going on? And I see the credit screen, and he's just like there, like rocking back and forth, like, how could you leave me alone? How could you fall asleep while I'm playing this game, man? We're supposed to play this together. I'm just like, oh my god. I was like, you good? And he's like, I don't know, man. My life will never be the same. I had to go through this experience alone. I was like, "Oh my god, you're ridiculous, bro."
Yeah.
like,
Trust
oh
me,
my God,
I played the first. I played the first one. Oh, dude, I played the first one, and you have to shoot their limbs off. That's the only way you can.
Yeah.
And I got so paranoid that if I saw corpses, like, because there's dead people like laying around everywhere, and what happens if this like weird, like, it looks like a moth with like a beak, or like a needle sticking out of its head, and it latches onto a corpse, injects it with the DNA, and then it mutates and rises up and attacks you. So like, if I saw a corpse, I would start shooting the limbs off of the corpse sitting on
just to make sure.
Ground.
Don't
I got paranoid.
That's a piece of advice. Don't shoot the corpses. Just step on it. Simple as that.
That reminds me of the
and
Resident Evil
kick.
remake,
That's
where
it.
they would, if you didn't burn the zombies, they would come back and chase you as like even stronger zombies with massive claws. But there wasn't enough fire in the game to burn all of them, so you had to sort of pick and choose which ones you burn, or they'd chase you down. Cerebral Paul says the Mark Hamill game I was mentioning is Wing Commander, and he's right. Yeah, it is Wing Commander, not Space Commander. I was close, but yeah, Wing Commander, really good game. That's got some amazing sort of live action cutscenes in it, if I remember correctly. So check that out. It's a really good game on PC.
What's with Dead Space when like the stomping was so brutal? It was just like it was so like forceful.
Do you remember that advert thing that he did where they had all the grannies on and stuff, and they showed them Dead Space, and that the whole advert campaign was literally.
Oh my god, I think I remember that.
Like,
yeah,
grannies and mothers going, "This is disgusting. I wouldn't let my kid play that anywhere.
Yeah.
This should be
How
banned."
could you?
And that was the whole advert campaign.
Exist?
It's like parents think they should be banned, so buy Dead Space.
Like there's one thing that I really love about that space, like that is just amazing in my opinion, and the best feature of it is the sound. Like the way that they ended up making the noise from the creatures walking inside the dudes, and all the ventilation and all of that stuff throughout the ship while you are walking without any music, without nothing, just a background sound. It's just amazing. Like you become paranoid.
Yeah.
Like it.
Oh, the death scenes when you die, holy shit. It's like a close up of you getting like ripped. This one creature cuts your head off and it climbs onto your neck hole and replaces your head.
If anyone's squeamish in chat, I apologise. If anyone's listening to this later on and has like a weak stomach, maybe don't play Dead Space.
I can see why my friend reacted the way that he did,
Not just
like,
that, but it dominates your hellish body. Like it dominates your body.
It shows your corpse walking around with a new head. It's fucked up.
What?
That's
so weird.
If you are curious about how that space, how much that space is awesome, like just go and watch the X-Men video, because it's a really good video and it sums up everything that is awesome about
I think I'll play through it myself by myself.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You want to stream it in the dark
Oh my
with
god.
just your headphones
You
on.
want to flip?
Definitely.
There's a part where this guy's like smashing his head against the wall.
Oh my god.
Man, the end of the first Dead Space, motherfucker.
I used to think Silent Hill 2 was creepy. I played Silent Hill 2 and it freaked me out a bit. I love it. It just when I first played it freaked me out. But Dead Space is so much creepier. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, it is
so much.
nuts.
All right.
Oh, shit.
This is
I got one of my next projects. Sometime
Right.
soon.
Yeah, like, but like really, really amazing that EA finally is listening to the fans and is going to make something Dead Space related.
It's like only 10
Yeah.
years, but they
And-
did it.
And off topic,
Oh, yeah,
that they
for
didn't
sure.
announce this at EA Play Live, but they did do a video saying we are making a skate. Here's an update about us making a skate, but we're not going to show you anything. We're going to show you people reacting to gameplay, but not actually show you the gameplay, which pissed me off. But at least it's coming. I'd like to see it sooner rather than later. But
Well, that's EA being EA after
Yeah.
all. So yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's true. They did a trailer for Mass Effect saying we are making a Mass Effect, but we're not going to show you the Mass Effect. And then they did the same for Dragon
Alright.
Age, and then they did another trailer for Dragon Age saying we are doing we're doing a Dragon
are
Age,
working
but we
on
still
it.
haven't done anything, so here's nothing to show. So it's the EA way. Next topic, we have Game Pass editions for this month. So we have got, it's actually a really good month this month. So we have got Battlefield 5 coming to cloud via EA Play.
wait, Battlefield.
Battlefield, you run on you run into battle and you're just feeding each other till they die. That's it.
Oh, I thought you said Battlefield.
Battlefield,
feet, like
that's
your
it.
foot.
You just kick each other to
Battle
death.
feet.
Man,
Battle
I
feet.
just I just imagine so many bad jokes about this. Like all the maps are in Africa. Sorry.
What? Oh my god, man.
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
I go there. Jeez, man.
I heard
Sorry, it's just a joke, okay? I'm sorry. I'll stop from now.
a new edition is genital jousting. That's coming to Game Pass.
Is it really?
What?
That would be amazing. There
What?
is actually a game
What
called
is
Genital
happening?
Jousting. Have you not played Genital Jousting? It's amazing. It's a shit Steam game where you basically like attack each other with your bot. You're like big giant cartoon
Is that a
willies.
real thing?
Yeah, it is. Genital Jousting. Google it on Steam.
Oh my god.
Like I just we finally did it, boys. We broke Slayer. He just asked what is happening right now.
To be fair, do you remember that game that I could have got the review copy for, which was like a
yeah.
some sort of kinky Fight Club game, and I was like, I can't even show it on YouTube. It would literally get me demonetized. So I was like, however curious I am and how bad this game looks, unfortunately, I'm not going to cover it because I wouldn't be able to do anything with it.
I think it would do more damage than just get you demonetized. I think it would
Yeah.
just get you banned. Your account is
I think it would
gone.
It'd be hilarious if they said that was a AAA game. That would be funny.
Oh man.
Triple D game or something like that,
Jesus
but not
Christ.
a triple A. Anyway, they've announced 2 backwards compact games are coming to Game Pass. We are getting Crimson Skies on cloud and console, and Blinks the Time Sweeper on cloud and console. So people play these games. Go out, have a try of them, see if you like them.
Bring
If you
it
don't,
back.
stop it. It could mean we
Bring it
get
back.
new sequels in the future based on what Phil said recently about the retro games and sort of older IP games going on Game Pass. It does give them sort of a reason to maybe produce more sequels and get greater interest. So give them a try. They may not be for you, but it's free. It'll not take long to download because they're not massive games. Give them a try. Blinks was obviously Microsoft's attempt at a mascot with his time pausing and stuff. Vacuum cleaner.
Judge, keep in mind that Blinks the Time Sweeper is a really hard game.
Yes.
The first one. So be careful.
But it may mean Blinks 2 will come to Game Pass in the future as well. And Crimson
I
Skies is an
wish.
awesome playing game. So We have got Flight Simulator coming soon. I can hear KOI Bob orgasming about it from here.
Yep.
He's been talking about it non-stop in the Discord this week, so we're a bit gutted he can't make it to talk about it. But I think it's out next week. It's out this week, isn't it? So I'm sure we will have a lengthy discussion about it next week on the podcast. He is absolutely ecstatic about it. He's been showing us pictures of him on the PC. He is ready.
He got Xbox to comment on his post.
Yeah. I was going to say that, like, are we talking about KY Xbox answer my post, Bob?
Yeah, exactly. We have also got Chris Tales coming to cloud consoles and PC, which is like it's a JRPG. Chris Tales. Atomic Crops is coming to cloud console and PC. Raji is coming to cloud console and PC, which looks awesome.
Game looks cool, Raji.
Last Stop, which I've been playing this week, has come out on cloud console and PC, and that would work really well on cloud. Like if they did touch controls for it, because you don't need to do it's not quick reactions. There's much. Like so, when you're picking reactions, you get like 10 seconds to pick, so it's not too bad. We have got The Ascent coming to cloud console and PC. We have got The Wingman coming to PC. We have got Omno coming to cloud console and PC, which is another awesome looking indie game. And then we've got another that is Lethal League Blaze, which is coming to cloud console and PC. I'm not sure what that is, but it kind of looks like the fighting game Blaze Blue, but I don't think it is. But it's got the similar style and the art to it. That's Lethal League Blaze, but I've not read a lot into that. I've just seen it on the picture for Game Pass, basically. Cerebral Paul says Tuesday for Flight Sim. You are correct. Cannot wait. It's like nearly 100 gigs. So if you're wanting to play, make sure you clear some space on your hard drive and set it off downloading now so you can start straight away. Otherwise, you may be in for a wait on launch day. So
I see what you're doing there. You are just telling me to already download it, so we don't have to wait for me to download it when we are going to play, right?
KY Bob been waiting for you, mate. Bob's just going to start without you. We're all off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly around, look for some hurricanes and tornadoes and shit.
Yeah, I've seen that. It like satellite tracks real weather. So if there's a storm somewhere in the world, you can fly into that storm as it goes. How amazing is that?
I think out of all of those games from Game Pass, the best games are Battlefield and Christ's Tales. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Battlefield 5 is awesome, though. People don't give Battlefield the Battlefield. Don't give Battlefield.
Please, correction. It's Battlefield, and also it's not Chris Tales. It's Christ's Tales.
Yeah. He walks around like blessing people and everything.
I mean, you're making fun, but there is actually a game, and I don't know if it's out yet.
I know.
The Jesus one or whatever, like I Am Jesus.
Oh my god, that looks amazing. We like part the seas and all that stuff. It just looks amazing.
Like heal like people's like illnesses and like bring them back to life. Like it's just so crazy.
Like, are we going to call this game Christ's Tales or Christ's Ales? Like just Jesus Christ drinking beer all the time.
I Am Jesus Christ is planned for release date in 2022, according to its Steam thing.
I am Jesus Christ, man.
Walk in the footsteps of Jesus in this incredible first-person retelling of the story of Christ from birth to resurrection, perform amazing miracles, interact with a cast of biblical figures, and travel around the Holy Land from Jerusalem to Galilee. Become the Messiah in I Am Jesus Christ. Now, if that doesn't sound like an awesome game, running around committing, like, smashing miracles out, I don't know what is. Like, you can go around and be just like, imagine, you can walk. Nah, not you though. Fuck you.
Just imagine though, like you're walking with a friend like near a church, and then they ask you like, what game were you talking about the other day? And you just say, I Am Jesus Christ, and there's like, and it's like a Sunday, and like there's a bunch of people like waiting outside the church, like what? What do you like? Damn.
Add it to your watch lists.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
amazing! And then the
I find
developer looks like they've made a game called bringing out a game called Jungle House as well, where you make a house on a beach. So
What?
wide variety of games from them.
Okay.
well, I just want to
House on the
say that
beach.
it wouldn't be an Xbox Live Party podcast episode without an off-topic moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
To be fair,
Of course.
Cerebral Paul says it's only 49 gigs download for Flight Sim if you run it from the cloud. Now I've got
nice.
the space for the 100 gigs, so I'm going to go full throttle. And I wanted the cloud to obviously update it, but I'm going to download everything because I've got the space anyway. So
Yeah, for what I remember, the online mode has less gigs than the offline mode.
yeah, because
what I
the
remember.
online it sort of streams it as you play from world maps and stuff. So you get better graphics and stuff like that. There's a picture on Twitter. I'm not sure who posted it with like a comparison between both the modes, the offline and online. The online mode is amazingly detailed compared.
I just want to point out that it looks amazing on the Series S. Like, it's just like this game is making a ton of PCs crash, and PCs are having a pretty hard time running this game, but it's running so well. And it looks so good on the Series S. Like, I'm actually thinking about buying a TV or a monitor with VRR so I can play that game in 60 FPS. Like, it's just crazy.
This would have been a good segue for one of our other topics if we
Yeah.
were discussing what crashes PCs.
Yeah, so one game works well. We'll talk about a game that supposedly hasn't been working well pretty shortly. But while we're on the topic of Game Pass, Microsoft has added touch controls to another 14 titles this week.
Wow.
So
14.
the following 14 games can now be played with touch controls, and there is some decent ones on here. So you've got City Skylines, Darkest Dungeon, Fable Anniversary, Fable 2, Fable 3, Fusion Frenzy, Goner 2, Game of the Decade Joyride Turbo, Outlast 2, Steep, The Bard's Tale ARPG Remastered and Resnarkled, The Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut, The Bard's Tale Trilogy, and The Wild at Heart. So this is via Xcloud Gaming or Xbox Cloud Gaming. It's not called Xcloud. They've made it really confusing. And so if you are a Xbox Ultimate subscriber, you can use this on PC and iOS as well now. That's been rolled out recently, as well as Android and stuff like that. And it's now powered by, in most places, by custom Xbox Series X hardware, meaning faster load times and 1080p 60 FPS streaming. But touch controls on a couple of those games will work really well, like City Skylines, the Bard's Tale stuff.
I was going to say, like, Fable on touch controls, that seems like it would be very finicky.
But at least the option's there.
Yeah, I just like I can't imagine like because there's so many like combinations of buttons that you have to normally press like on a controller. Like it's I don't know. And then like the manual aiming on Fable, like that is it's already like kind of finicky to begin with. So like just putting it on touch controls is like what?
No, I do look forward to it though.
For newcomers, the first Fable, at least for what I remember, is not that easy to get used to the controls, to be honest. So,
it's a very old school game, Fable 1. It's one of my favourite RPGs of all time, and it got me into an amazing series, and some will say that it got worse as it went on. I've loved every Fable game. I've loved 1, I've loved 2, and I've really loved 3. I mean, I didn't think 3 was the best story, but it had a really good co-op mode, and me and the missus played it for hours and hours. Fable 3, but Fable 1
get into too.
It is showing its age. Fable 1, but it's the remastered version that's available, like the anniversary edition, looks great. It's still funny to this day. It's got witty writing, standout graphics because it's got its own stand of like art style. I think it really stands out. And I love the ending of Fable 1. Honestly, when you got to pick what you wanted to do, I thought that was such a cool ending. Now, does the anniversary edition have the DLC that came out afterwards included?
Yes.
Good, because I remember buying the DLC originally and like, if you don't play that version, it's not as good. Now, the DLC version literally has a whole thing after the end of the game, which is really worth playing. And I think it's probably the best DLC the series has had because it's the most sort of it means the most. It makes the most changes and stuff like that.
It's like tied to the story.
Yeah, whereas some of the DLC later on
it's just kind of like offshoots.
Yeah, exactly. So I highly recommend Fable. We'll have to talk about older Xbox games at some point, like our favourites, especially Fable and stuff. We'll have to figure out a way to do
Fable.
it, whether it'll be on a podcast or we'll do like a standalone YouTube episode or something. But stuff about the cool history of sort of Microsoft games would be awesome. But yeah, we'll jump on to the next topic we have got. So let me just get it up in front of me.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, Chinese tech giant buys British video game developer. So UK video game developer Sumo Digital has been bought by Chinese tech giant Tencent for 909 million. So that's nearly £1 billion. So it's over $1 billion because that's in pounds. So basically,
trying to take over the world.
They are, yeah. So Sheffield-based Sumo. Sumo is literally about 25 minutes from where I live. And Sumo, for those who don't know what they make, they did Sackboy: The Big Adventure. They basically came in and remade Crackdown 3 to actually release it after all the delays and the mispromises, and they did a good job. I mean, if you ignore everything that was announced by the previous company and Microsoft, and just focus on it as a game that came out, it's a good game. They did a really good job with the time they had and everything. It's just unfortunately they had all those tech demos that weren't theirs that everyone still brings up to this day, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
if you consider all the development hell that the game has, like they had a really good try. They made a really good game, to be honest. Really fun. Like, I still don't know why people like to criticize Crackdown 3 by saying that the story mode is bad. Like,
it's not.
It's Crackdown. Why do you care about story? It's like saying that, oh my god, the Saints Row story is not deep. What?
Yeah. So some of the other games they ever made are Hood, Outlaws and Legends. That was published by Focus. Little Big Planet 3 for the PS3 and PS4, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing and the sequel All-Stars Racing Transformed, and unfortunately Team Sonic Racing, which is Dog, F1 2009 for the PSP, Outrun Online Arcade for the PS3 and Xbox 360, which is an awesome port of Outrun. It is amazing. They also made Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. They did the port of Forza Horizon 2 for Xbox 360, Sega Rally Online Arcade for the PS3 and 360 ports. They have done so much cool stuff. They helped co-develop Disney Infinity 3, Hitman 2, Hot Shot Racing, Driver 76. They have done loads of cool stuff. They are amazing at what they do. Like I say, Sonic and Sega Racing was the best kart racing game of last gen, and I'll fight you for that. It was awesome, 1 and 2. The third one on this current generation, not so much, but the 360 games were ace. And the PC version of Transformed, you could play as Football Manager, and one of the races was a Russian in a tank. I mean, what else is there not to love? So I'm really sad that Tencent have bought them. I wish Microsoft had have got them. It's weird though, because like I say, they've just done they did a big job for Sony. They did a first party, like a third party sort of big release exclusive for Sony, and then they did an exclusive for Microsoft. So it's a strange one. I don't know what Tencent are planning. Whether they're just happy to keep making money off them and just make on their investment, or one day they're going to flip a switch and just screw everyone because they own everything. So,
I gotta be honest.
Scary thought.
It is.
I still think that I think it is kind of scary. Tencent buying Sumo Digital, but it happened. Like, I may think it's bizarre, but I'm okay to say that better them to be acquired by Tencent than Crytek.
So, and also weirdly, Tencent has been ordered. This is only yesterday or today it's came out. Tencent's Holding Limited was ordered to give up exclusive music streaming rights and pay $500,000 in fines by the Chinese government. So basically, they acquired China Music Corp's stake of something, and it violated regulations because they didn't go through the right authorities, basically, and an antitrust watchdog has ruled against them. So, but to be fair, the fine they've had is only like £77,000. It's dollars. It's not a lot of money, but they've got to waive their exclusive rights within 30 days. So, some things good for Tencent, some things not so good for Tencent this week, unfortunately.
For them, that's Trump change.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we'll move on to the next topic. Ubisoft announced a new Splinter Cell game.
Guess who's pissing off everybody?
Oh wait, no, they didn't.
Pissing off everybody. Yay! They just called this guy's game.
So they announced they were bringing out a new Tom Clancy game. And obviously, for the first 10 minutes, everyone was like, "It's Splinter Cell," and then it turned out it's a team-based Call of Duty clone called X Defiant or XD Effiant, if you technically look at the logo. But so basically, this brings together multiple sort of universes from Tom Clancy's games. So it will feature 4 factions: the Wolves from Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Echelon from Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, the Outcasts and Cleaners from The Division, and it's going to be a free-to-play, multiplayer, competitive shooter, and it's coming to PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, and Ubisoft Connect, Luna, and Stadia, so they want that sweet, sweet free-to-play money. It's going to have multiple Tom Clancy franchises to form a roster of customizable characters known as Defiants. Matches will take place across a variety of maps, featuring 6v6 arena battles and objective-based game modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Escort. There's videos of the gameplay online, and this did leak actually the day before. It doesn't look bad. It looks like a competent team-based shooter, but I'm bored of team-based shooters. This would have probably done really well 5 years ago, but it's too late now. They're trying to jump on that bandwagon that they've missed.
Yeah, I mean, they have Siege. They have this new Rainbow Six game coming out. Like, what the hell, man? Like, just make something else.
Yeah,
finally.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but 400. Like, I'm talking about like FPSs. You know, like.
Yeah, they've got enough. Well, they've but they've delayed the new Rainbow Six, so now they've got to fill that gap with a free-to-play shooter.
Oh my god!
Like I don't know what's going on. Like Ubisoft used to be such a good company in terms of we are going to do creative, different games. We are not gonna be doing the same thing over and over and over. Like we are going to be original and we are going to respect our franchises. Like. This is I don't know what's going on. Like
and like 4 of their franchises have like the same layout.
Yeah.
Every open world, all these just maps littered with crap.
Bear in mind, Ubisoft aren't in fans' great favor right now because not only do they keep teasing Splinter Cell and then they shit on it, like here's a mobile Splinter Cell game, here's this crap. They also have said they're doing
Ghost Recon Wildlands for one mission.
They've also announced
5 seconds.
Like this is what I really don't understand, like because we've been asking for a new Splinter Cell game for years. Like holy fucking shit! I loved Conviction, I loved Blacklist, and I still need to play the previous games. So why are you not doing anything else?
And the co-op in those games is always so much fun.
Yes, like. Jesus Christ! I don't know what's going on. Like
I remember just playing that with my friends and just like planning out like how we're like where each of us is gonna go and which targets we're gonna like knock out and stuff. It was so awesome.
Like don't get me wrong. I'm sure this new game it may be fun and it looks good. I'm sure of it that it's going to have some sort of success and some sort of player base. But here's the thing: you are not gonna get a good reputation if you are teasing something and you show us something else. Like, here's the thing. If you tease one thing, but you do something completely different, you're going to get fucked.
Yep.
Hence, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. You can't just make us wait for a brand new Banjo-Kazooie game for 6 to 8 years, announce it as a Banjo-Kazooie game, and then you make a car game. a car or a constru or a construction game, whatever you call a Banjo-Kazooie, I suppose. I may like it, but I do understand the rage towards it, like, and this game is gonna receive it as well. If they would just, like, I don't know, release a true Splinter Cell game, and then after that they announce this one, it would be
Yeah,
way
exactly.
better, and it will
Yep.
receive a way better reception.
100%. Yeah.
Oh,
What
I
about,
totally agree.
Riders
Go on,
Republic.
Lucard.
That game's gonna be cool.
When it finally
Yeah,
comes
Yeah,
out.
they still
delayed-
have some like
delayed.
interesting ideas, but it's like most of their stuff is like just regurgitated crap.
Yeah, like,
We haven't
they-
even
they
spoke about
do
Assassin's
have-
Creed. What was it called? Assassin's
Infinity or something like that?
Infinity,
Infinite?
yeah. Which
like,
is supposed to
they
be
do
like a
have
10-year
some
plan.
interesting ideas. Yeah, like they do have some interesting ideas. That's a fact. But for new games, but like, what about their already established, well-known IPs? Assassin's Creed is fun,
Prince
yeah, but
Persia.
it lost all of its identity. Prince of Persia. I still
Gone.
have no fucking idea what's
MIA.
going on with that remake, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
no shit. Now Splinter Cell, what the fuck, like? And every sort of same game with gameplay and same formats has that fucking Tom Clancy brand, just so it sells. Like,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, it's not Tom Clancy anymore, is it?
Yeah, it's not. They are just doing that just for let's attract fans, and so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's just a shit in the face of long-time fans. I mean, Tom Clancy used to be the name that you would look for either amazing sort of strategy games or stealth games or like team games, like, and now it's just a shell. It's like
just
it's
whatever.
like dirt, like when they used to slap Colin McRae's name on a racer, even though it would know.
I'm not
Do you know what I
gonna-
mean? It's hollow.
I have no doubt that someday they are going to announce Tom Clancy's Far Cry, Tom Clancy's Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy's
my
Prince
God,
of
no.
Persia,
What?
Tom Clancy's Riders Republic. Like, whatever the game is, it is a Tom Clancy.
No,
game,
it's going to be
like,
Splinter Cell's Rider Republic. He's one of the characters. That'll be the big thing. They'll be like, guess what you can do in Riders Republic? And then Tom Clancy and fucking Sam Fisher, and he's on his fucking BMX, and then he jumps onto his hang
He's
glider
gonna
and he
be on a
flies
drone.
in.
He's
Yeah,
gonna be on a drone.
and then in this Assassin's Creed game, it's going to be like one of the assassins is Sam Fisher, and they're going to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's a modern day assassin. It's like, no, he's not. Shut the fuck up. Just give us a Splinter
Yeah.
Cell game. I mean, don't shove it into
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed game to just sort of like sell it. So
and then when they finally announce a Sam Fisher game, it's just a fishing game.
yeah, exactly. That's
Oh
what
my
the
God.
aliens are. Do you not realize the aliens in that new Rainbow Six game is Sam Fisher? He's controlling them all. That's it. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be the.
I think a part of it. I think a part of it is that they're scared. They don't want to. They don't want to make a game that's going to turn out to be bad, and then I mean, this is worse, I guess, because they're literally leading people on and then just announcing something completely different. But I feel like they're scared because they probably feel like they can't remake that vision that they used to make because it's been so long, maybe, or something. It's kind of like how Borderlands 3 took quite a while to come out after Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Or like the Duke
But,
Nukem game took
like-
like freaking 10-15 years to come out, and it turned out to be okay, but
Like,
it
I
kind of
do
like wore
understand-
out smoking.
I
because of how
do
long it took.
understand that, but at least try it.
Yeah, of
like,
course. Like
you
remake
have-
some of them if that just
you-
to see like the interest, and then I'm sure people will buy that because I would definitely buy like a remake or like a remaster of like
oh yeah, for sure.
the first couple games. Like they love to do
But-
that. I mean, Ubisoft is not a stranger to that.
Like, you
Like
may
I still
not
wish they
have-
did a remaster of Assassin's Creed 1. Honestly.
Yeah, like you.
They're
may not
saving
have
that.
Like, you may not have infinite amounts of money, but at least you have a ton of money, so you are not gonna get broke after
Yeah, of
you
course.
release a bad or a mediocre game. At least
Yeah.
have the courage to try. Bring
Yeah.
those franchises that we love so much back. Like, and this is something that I really criticize Microsoft. That they buy a lot of IPs with all of those new studios that they've been acquiring, but are they going to make new sequels of those IPs that they now own? Are they
Yeah.
going to do it? Are they going to
No.
use them?
Hopefully,
Or are
one
they
day.
only going to have those IPs in their portfolio saying, oh yeah, this is ours, but never use it?
Yeah, exactly. But what's funny though, what is funny, like the Sif, there can't be that many of them. So they announced one mashup game, and then like the day after they announced another is getting killed. So Ubisoft also announced that the Tom Clancy mashup game Elite Squad is shutting down after 1 year. So this was the one where they really teased Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell coming back last year, only to be a mobile multiplayer horrible game where it was like a crossover that includes Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, The Division, and the Jinner said he played it in beta and it was all right, and then it came out and it was terrible. Like they tweaked it after beta, but this is getting shut down, and
I don't know. I think the saddest part for me about this is that it took way longer to be shut down than Bleeding Edge.
No, but the
What about
servers
the
for
Bleeding
Bleeding
Edge?
Edge are staying active. These are going down on October the 4th. So from October the 4th, you'll not be able to play this anymore. You're not missing
I thought it
anything,
was going
but I
to
just
be-
find it
I
funny.
thought- for one moment, I thought they would just stop updating the game, just like they did with Bleeding Edge.
No,
like,
because it's a
that's it.
mobile game, it'll just get erased from history.
Who cares about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We'll jump on to the next topic. So, Amazon's New World MMO is supposedly destroying brand new RTX 3090 graphics cards. So it's basically, this is like the most powerful GPU in the world, and for some reason when you switch on New World with one of these graphics cards and you haven't got it like frame rate capped, it melts your graphics card to the point it just burns it out. So there's been reports from multiple people.
Wow, that's horrible.
So a guy called
Jesus.
Glad on Twitter said, attention, playing the new World Beta on my EVGA 3090 has fried my graphics card completely. There are many accounts of the same thing happening with the same card with the same game.
Jesus.
Other people have said it, like when you start to load the game up, your graphics card just blasts onto, like, because it's uncapped frame rate, obviously it just runs it at stupidly high rates, and it just literally goes crazy high. So it says players are theorizing that as there's not an FPS cap on the menu, it causes GPUs to render 9,000 plus FPS, basically blowing up your graphics card. So
Jesus
Yeah, they
Christ.
said that they're going to replace all of the RTX 390s killed by Amazon's New World MMO.
Well, I
What
read
the
something
fuck?
earlier where Amazon are like, it's nothing to do with us, it's not our problem. So whether the graphics card company's replacing them or not, but Amazon basically came out and were like, nah, not our problem.
Yeah.
Amazon, they really have no idea what the fuck they're
Sucks to be
doing.
you guys. Sorry.
How can they not know?
Oddly enough, just as we're talking about this,
Jesus.
I've been just sent a beta code for this game. So
Use it. Try it out. Tell me how it goes.
it's
You're
only
like,
that. It's only
our
this
next
graphics
victim,
card.
yes.
So, but if
I
you're a
got your
UK,
money.
if you're listening to this live on Twitter, Nasaga,
This shitty company.
NNESAGA is, if you're in the UK, they're giving out beta codes for the game. Just message them, and if they've got any spare, they'll send you one. So I will give it a try. I was interested in it, but it does make me laugh when these people have bought like the world's most expensive graphics cards that are supposed to be the bee's knees, and as usual, Amazon's coming in like, nah, not today, lads. Boom. We need you to keep buying new graphics cards on Amazon to pay for Jeff Bezos' penis rockets. So,
It's just like, I mean,
What? have you
Do
not
they
seen
want
Jeff
to
Bezos
make
going
him?
into space? He looks like the Doctor Evil rocket from.
I didn't see the picture. I just heard about it.
Yeah, look online. It
It's
basically
so-
looks
like
like
a-
he went into space on a dick.
Like
Wow.
I think it's how to sum up this Jeff Bezos rocket thing. The most expensive yo-yo of the world. That's it, because it goes up and down and like
That's it, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Motherfucker.
But it does look
Like,
like he's
seriously,
riding a
like-
penis into space. It looks
I
like
mean,
if you've watched
man.
what's that film called?
Yeah.
Austin Powers, where the giant penis rocket shoots out.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, wow.
What were you going to say, Alucard?
Maybe
Sorry.
Maybe he really likes that movie.
Oh, I mean, does Amazon want to be like looked at as like more horrible than ever? I mean, they have a game that like destroys your graphics card. Like, what kind of crap is that?
Now this could be the graphics card itself. Like the graphics card shouldn't run stuff at 9,000 FPS. Maybe there should be some software done,
True.
but this could be for either side. I'm not super clued up on how graphics cards and stuff work and software works in that sense, but both sides need to talk to each other, I think, and fix that before all these expensive graphics cards explode.
I gotta be honest, that the rocket from Jeff Bezos reminds me of that movie, The Dictator, where the dictator says that the rocket has to be pointy. I don't know if you remember that movie. Jesus Christ.
It does show you though, like he just divorced his wife and she got half of his like billions. She's spending all her money on like making the world a better place, sort of good things for the world, and he's spending it to fucking send himself into space on a giant fucking white space dick. Just shows you that some people aren't as nice as others. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you could spend those billions on something a bit better. I mean, I understand you. If I had billions, I'd want to go into space, but and he's bald, so he does look like Dr. Evil as well. I mean, has anyone seen Has anyone seen that South Park episode where he's got the giant head and he telepathically communicates with people?
Yeah.
I can't unsee that now.
Every time you see him, that's what you just imagine.
You don't know, like he went to space as Jeff Bezos. And when he returned, they became the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's it. It's just crazy.
Shout out to Wilmy Hood for sharing that meme. I just loved it.
But yeah, so the New World is Amazon's upcoming MMO. It's in closed beta now. It looks promising in some aspects and a bit murk in others. But I've been given a beta, so I'll do a video of it at some point and hopefully not.
Are you going to seriously?
Oh yeah, my graphics card is like 5 years old nearly, so I'll be all right. I mean.
Are you going to? You are just using that as an excuse to your wife. That why are you buying a new graphics card? Well, the one that we have here just died, so yeah. I need to buy a new.
God damn Amazon!
I don't know, man. Like imagine if like Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo made a game and it was like destroying people's consoles. Like it would be, man, oh man,
like Anthem.
Well, yeah,
was
Anthem was like, but that's not exclusive though. So I mean, but
but like it had some reports of the game like that was destroying consoles. Like Anthem was one of them, to be honest.
It was like I don't know if it was melting graphics cards though. It was just crashing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought was happening with this story. I didn't know that it was literally like frying them.
Yeah,
That's
no, they're not just crashing. They are
nuts.
frying them. So
that's nuts. I mean, I don't know if it is Amazon's fault, then they have no idea what the fuck they're doing when they,
I mean, yeah, like every one of their projects, I was gonna say this before, like every one of their projects has failed so far, and like I wanted to be interested in this game, but the more that I see it, like the more that I see of it, like it just seems so bland and like. I don't know, man. It seemed and looked interesting when it first was announced, and then like the more I see of it, is just like, what is going on? This is just so generic. It's so like bland.
It looks like Elder Scrolls Online. It looks like the same game.
Yeah, it looks like it takes like a lot of it borrows from a lot of other games, and it's just like, what's where's the catch here? Like, where's the hook? Like what should be interesting about this?
Did you really think about that? Like, my impression about this game was some sort of a mixture, like between Elder Scrolls Online and Outriders. For some reason, it reminded me a little bit of that.
Yeah, like it looks like I said, like it looks like it just takes like more than one genre, like one game, and it just borrows elements from them and just kind of puts it together. And
not necessarily original, right?
Yeah. Is anything Amazon are putting out original?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's games that do
Or-
that all the time, right? But at least like they have something that's unique to them to some degree. Whereas, this is just like it just looks so bland and generic, and I'm like, I wanted to like it, and it looked interesting. I was like, maybe this is like could actually be an MMO that maybe will finally get me back into MMOs, and it just I don't know, it just can't. It just hasn't grabbed my attention. Like when I was watching like a gameplay video of like 10 minutes of like some kind of like it was like PvP, and it just looks so like, oh, this is I don't know, it just looks so boring, man.
I'm just
Yeah.
imagining Slayer like just when I thought it was out, they pulled me back.
Yeah,
Simple as
exactly.
that.
It's just a bad way to start off with your game. It's like, oh, it's gonna melt your graphics card. Like,
Well, no,
bad way to
the
beginning.
worst way
That's
was what they did with
God.
the last game,
imagining
Crucible, where they
outdoors.
launched it and
Yeah.
then pulled it back
Yeah.
because it was crap.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, it's gonna go back into beta, and then it was in beta, and people are actually like starting to like it a little bit because it started getting better. They actually started adding interesting ideas to it, and they're just like, nope,
Yep.
we don't want this anymore. Like Amazon just shut the doors on that
Yeah, and
on that studio.
they
and said, "We
killed
don't
off
want it."
their
Like-
Lord of the Rings MMO they were working on,
Yeah,
which is probably
yeah.
for the best
So,
because
like,
if
that
this is
game-
their other MMO.
That
Yeah.
game is not going to be part of their Luna service, right? It's just like a separate thing.
Well,
something
it's
like
it's
that,
because it's an MMO. They probably will put it on Luna at some point, but it'll be a subscription-based MMO. I think. I don't know or is it one of those ones you pay for it once and that's it. I don't know. I lost all interest after they started announcing it, and then it got delayed, and then they kept trying to announce it, and there was like 700 different versions of it. So, I mean, Jinner in the comments has said one game that did brick consoles was Returnal, because it would put your PS5 into sleep mode and you had to hope your console would restart.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that not just was buggy, but it did cause a few issues now and again. So, EVGA has confirmed it's replacing all the RTXs that the MMO killed. So, Amazon aren't the actual graphics company, which is great of them, but I'm sure there's a shortage on graphics cards at the moment, so there could be a bit of a wait. Let's have a look. I'm just having a quick look on the website for this game. So the standard edition is
Professionals.
$39.99, so $40, and the deluxe edition is $50. And it doesn't say you have to pay for it afterwards, so maybe you don't. Maybe it's a one buy. Do you know, like Guild Wars and stuff like that?
Right.
Oh, but didn't they just say they were going to add a load of things in game that were normally in game you had to pay for, like fast travel? You have to pay for it with real money. I'm just seeing while we've got people. I just want to know if it's a subscription. Why is it so fucking hard? Is it is the new world
Hey,
based
they don't
on
wanna
real
s- they don't-
history? No.
They don't want to scare people off, man. Because then they're like, oh, well, fuck this. I don't want to waste my money on this game if I'm gonna have to
Exactly.
buy it and then.
I bet I Am Jesus isn't a subscription.
Amazon wants to pull you in and be like, okay, now that we have you and you bought our game, now it's time to reveal that you actually have to pay $20 a month to continue playing this game.
Yeah, no, it's no
Yeah.
subscription. It's just a pay for the
Oh,
game,
okay.
which is good, but it depends how bad the monetization is. So,
Right.
And I hate when games don't come out, MMOs don't come out on consoles nowadays. There's no reason for it.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of games that I wish would come to Xbox that don't, or like to
No.
any console. Like so many
Um,
games that.
Cerebral Paul said he's jumping off because he's got his community game night. Jumping after if
No
you'd like.
worries, bud.
Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. We've only got one more
Thanks so
topic,
much.
so
Thank you.
we'll not be on much longer. But thanks for tuning in. For those who are interested in Xbox gaming, there is a community game night on a Friday and a Saturday. They start about 9 o'clock on both days. We try and jump in when we can, but obviously we do the podcast on a Saturday, so it's more. I haven't been in a while, but it's normally on a Friday when I join in. But it's sort of
9
like
o'clock
Awesome.
time.
9 o'clock UK time, which is BST at the moment.
Hey,
And
huge shout out to Mr. Tushi and Animated Evil for
Yeah.
organizing this. Really awesome.
yeah, it's full of great guys. We've met loads of cool people in there. I'd love to play more. It's just unfortunate we do the podcast on a Saturday at the same time. And
Unfortunately, we do the podcast.
no, but like I say, that takes priority to me. That's all I mean. It's just bad timing. But we can't do the podcast
Yeah,
any other
of course.
time. This is our slot. We're sticking to it now. We've done it for 6 months. We ain't changing.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into our final topic, which is basically what we all know, that Activision is run by Satans and they are not nice people to work for. So news broke this week that California was suing Activision over alleged harassment. So California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, DFEH, is taking legal action against Activision Blizzard following a 2-year investigation. So it is accused of unequal pay, promoting men over women, and widespread sexual harassment, which is fucking disgraceful. So Activision has called the action disgraceful and unprofessional, and called them unaccountable state bureaucrats. There've been extensive allegations made about an ingrained culture of discrimination and sexual harassment. So female employees almost universally confirmed that working for the defendants was akin to working in a frat house. They said in the office, women are subjected to cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office, and often engage in inappropriate behaviour towards female employees. Male employees would also proudly arrive at work with hangovers, play video games for a long period of time during work while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, discussing sexual encounters, joke about rape. It was workplace cultures were breeding. It gets worse, honestly. We're breeding ground for harassment and discrimination. Female employees are subject to constant sexual harassment, they alleged. High-ranking executive and creators engaged in blatant sexual harassment without repercussions. When formal complaints were made to Activision, they were failed to take effective measures to solve the problem, and instead the complaints were dismissed and not kept confidential. So they were telling the people they were complaining about, they were being complained about. And what's fucking worse, as a result of these complaints, female employees were subjected to retaliation, including but not limited to being deprived of work on projects, unwillingly transferred to different units, and selected for layoffs, they said. One female employee had even killed herself due to a sexual relationship with her male supervisor. The DFEH claimed a tragic example of harassment that the defendant allowed to fester, although this is an allegation Activision strongly denies. So supposedly she'd gone on a company trip with him before, which another employee alleged male co-workers had passed around intimate photos of her at a party. Now, Activision have said, we are sickened by the reprehensible conduct that the DFEH have done. So not their own actions. They're saying it's irresponsible, and they're saying it's a tragic suicide, and the passing has no bearing whatsoever on the case, and it's fucking disgusting. So it also says this isn't even the end. We're about halfway. It just gets worse. So pay disparity.
Wait. Should we really continue? Should you really continue to read?
We've gone over the worst stuff, so it's mainly pay disparity.
I think
it's terrible.
Get the point.
So
let's just comment about it.
And also, I must admit, multiple Activision have put out a statement, which was terrible. It was basically a bog standard. We haven't done anything wrong.
Sure.
I'm trying to see if I can find said statement. But even developers who are still currently working at Activision, female employees, have come out and said, we do not agree with this. We do not support this. And I don't blame them. Do you know what I mean? So it's fucking shocking, mate. And honestly, there's so much of it. There's so many developers that either have worked at or still work at the company or one of their subsidiary companies, because there's a lot of studios under Activision, not just Blizzard and but the Sledgehammer, there's the Call of Duty companies, Treyarch,
Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, they got really good studios there, and you can be sure Activision has proved itself to be horrible in terms of a lot of human rights for their workers. Like they just fired a ton of workers and were celebrating their boss Bobby, their CEO, to have gained a raise in his salary. Like
Yeah, let people
this
go
is
for money because they needed to make the profits
exactly
up, and then they pay him so much.
you can be sure that depending of the outcome of this, we are going to see a ton of studios to be shut it down. To be honest, I think that I am really actually scared to say that I think that's the end of Blizzard. Like I think Blizzard is really close to an end. Like or maybe Toys for Bob or Vicarious Visions, like they are going to shut down something. There's no way they are not going to sacrifice someone for their own
I don't think
needs.
they'll get rid of a company. I think it'll be the heads will get cut,
Fired.
basically.
Yeah.
I doubt that their heads are going to be fired. To be honest, like
But it's
mean,
not even
I
that
don't
though.
know.
Like like they're gonna lose a lot. Like
they
of
will.
like player base. Because like even I've heard after all this like has started coming out that a lot of people are like leaving World of Warcraft. They're like either ending their subscriptions or if they're like locked into like a 6 month subscription or something like that, they canceled it and they're still playing World of Warcraft, but they're protesting in the game.
Like
And
here's the
there's
thing.
like it's crazy. Like
Well,
I mean,
Like
because people don't condone this shit. Like why would you? Like this is, just because you make great games doesn't mean that you're allowed to just just
yeah,
do all
which
this
to
other
do
crazy
everything.
crap.
I'm just
Yeah.
very confused by this because, like, okay, first of all, how much free time do they have to do this? I thought they're supposed to be working.
Yeah,
One thing. Like, what the fuck? Where is this? I don't get it. Unless this is during like Christmas parties, which is even more fucked up. But isn't there cameras there? Like security cameras?
This is a deep-rooted problem that goes all the way to the top. It's a very male
Yeah.
chauvinistic, sexist
Like-
workplace where they don't give a shit.
Like
Frat house.
my
Yeah.
my company, like we have cameras everywhere, so they see everything. You can't do stuff like that there.
like
Yeah, but like
how-
Ash
how-
says, like even the execs are like, they're in on it. Like they know it's happening. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're probably doing
Oh.
the same thing. Like they
So they probably see it on camera and they just ignore it, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
how bizarre,
Yeah.
like how
Jesus.
bizarre it is the fact that Activision in just one day became worse than EA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
See, I've been
go ahead, mate.
sorry. Sorry, no, I was gonna say like I don't know about you guys, but like when I heard about this merger between Activision and Blizzard, I
That's the
immediately
type of it, right?
yeah, I was like, man, this is not gonna go well, man. Like I know Activision, like they make great games and like whatever, but their reputation sucks, and like Blizzard has never been this bad. Their reputation has always been so good. Like they were
Stellar, to be honest. Let us
yeah
be
yeah
honest.
they
Blizzard
were
reputation was
they
always
weren't
stellar.
perfect. Yeah, they weren't perfect, but it was like it was very close during those times to like CD Projekt Red, before the Cyberpunk debacle. Like they
Like,
were,
here's the thing.
everyone loved them, everyone trusted them, and like, there was nothing bad about them necessarily, except for maybe a few mishaps here and there. But like once that merger happened, everybody like kind of like knew where that was gonna go, and it seems like it's true, like it's going in the wrong
Yep.
direction.
Like I'm so glad, to be honest, that Rare is with Microsoft instead of Activision, because during the
hell yeah.
Rare buyout, Rare was going to be so they would be selling Rare to Activision, and then Microsoft came in and bought them. Like, thank God Rare is with Microsoft. You can now say that Microsoft killed Rare and all that fucking stuff. I don't care. I'm just glad that they are with Microsoft, and Sea of Thieves is just being their biggest success, and they are doing more games and using their IPs. Like, I don't care if you think Microsoft killed Rare. Like, I'm just glad that that's the outcome that we had. Because
Now-
Blizzard itself, we are fucked.
Yeah. There has been a lot of outpouring from a lot of companies, developers in support of this. But I feel this is a deep-rooted problem in the industry. Look at Ubisoft had the same problem last year, and that's still going on
Yeah.
and has sort of been brushed under the
Yeah.
carpet. So a lot of these people
Yeah.
online that are like, I am boycotting Activision. I am never buying their products again. I will never buy Call of Duty. Next month, they'll announce something new and they'll run back, just like they did with Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
hope something.
this
The
is-
fact that this is California are taking a stand against them, I feel like hopefully something will happen. But we'll have to wait and see. But it's absolutely abysmal. It's horrible. My condolences go out to the person who's
For sure.
committed suicide because of this, and all of the developers, all of the women, anyone, whether they be any developer who's like man, woman, any sexuality, any sort of religion, anything that's getting persecuted in these type of jobs by dickheads higher up the chain. You don't deserve the shit they're giving you, and they all deserve to
Yeah.
rot in hell and get a pineapple shoved up their arse, like in
Well,
Little Nicky.
Yeah.
That's what they all
this is one
deserve.
thing that- yeah, this is one
I guess
thing
like
that
none of these people have like daughters or mothers or sisters, because like they like to treat women like garbage. So I guess that they want their mother to be treated like that too. You know?
Yeah, it's
Like, this is
disgusting.
one thing that
I guess so.
this is one thing that I would like to say, that this isn't for the whole our own podcast. We say this is a really disgraceful act. This is horrible. That no one should suffer through this. We hope all the responsibles of those horrible actions rot in hell. We hope for them to lose their jobs. We hope for them to lose their lives in terms of their success. But and we are sorry for everyone that has been suffering about this. But I don't know if, let me ask you this. Are we in favor of the boycott?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Well,
mean, I don't play a lot of Activision anyway because they've shit the bed in the last few years anyway. But it does make me never. I don't want to buy products from, especially a dickhead boss who. It's like Gearbox. He's just the same. Where he didn't give any of his staff bonuses, but he got a massive bonus. It's scumbags
Yeah.
like that. Why they're not you when you buy their product? You're not supporting the devs. You're putting it into their big fat Bobby Kotick's pockets, and he's laughing to bank while his fucking staff are getting abused and shit, and he just don't care. So please vote with your wallets. Stand by your guns until something changes. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Support.
Yeah,
Go play
I'll-
Final Fantasy 14 instead
Yeah.
of WoW. If you're into MMOs, I mean, even I know we bitch at Square Enix a lot, but there's nothing I've personally seen about Square Enix causing people to commit suicide because they're fucking sexist, sexual assaultists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I would like to. This is like I am in favor of the boycotts. Ash is in favor of the boycotts. Alucard, are you in favor of the boycott? Keep in mind that there are no wrong answers in terms of the boycott. The only right answer is that these actions are horrible. But if you are in favor of the boycott or not, this is up to you. There's no wrong answers about that. Okay.
well, I mean, I don't know. If you already bought the games, I
Mhm.
mean,
No,
You
that's
have every
different.
right to
That's
play 'em.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
already have the game and you play those games, continue to play, no worries.
Yeah.
But do not buy the new expansions or the new games. Just
Yeah.
keep
I
with
mean,
what you have.
It's hard because it's like not everybody's guilty, so it's like.
Oh no,
it's a
true.
tough one,
It's
you
it's
know?
a tough one. I
You
just
know.
I feel like they need to see it, and I would never tell someone not to do something, but I can take my own
Yeah.
stance in
Yeah.
support the
Oh, yeah,
devs that are
you-
good.
Oh yeah, you can be sure that we are not saying that you should do as we are doing. Like I'm just saying our opinion. Like that's it. You can.
And if
follow
you
it
are
first,
listening to this and you
we
do
are
want to
not
keep buying
denying.
Activision, that's you do
do
you.
so. No
It-
worries.
But just realize that your money will go to very rich people who
Yeah.
do not give a shit about women's rights or women or fair pay or
Or human
mental
rights
health.
at all, to be
Yeah,
honest.
basically they're just shit
Yeah.
human beings. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of I just imagine that Activision Blizzard's office are like those scenes from Wolf of Wall Street where they're like shaving all the women's heads and they're all like having coke and sex parties and throwing like the little people at the
Yeah.
fucking dartboards and
Yeah.
acting like they're not human. I just imagine that's fucking how horrible that they are there.
I understand if people are gonna like boycott and protest, I get it. But you know, it's crazy because it's like a lot of things that you buy these days, you know, they might come from somewhere that's horrible, and like China.
Oh, I agree. You don't know where your clothes are made. Your shoes are probably made in a sweatshop. Your Xboxes are made in an underpaid factory.
It's a tough one, but if you believe in it and you think it's gonna help, then you should do it. I'm not a big Activision fan, anyways, so it's like, I'm not like, I've heard so many bad things about them, but you know, there's all these big companies. There's always some kind of skeletons in their closets. So it's tough, you know. But I understand. But I mean, I just bought, you know, Call of Duty like a couple weeks ago. So it's like.
No, but how could you know? How could you know about all of this, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Slayer?
That's pretty bad.
Go on, Lucar.
No, but it's like if you boycott this, then you probably should boycott a lot of things. You know, that's why it's such a tough thing. It's tough.
Yes.
But I'm not against it. If you want to do it, then maybe it's gonna help. But I mean, I think what's gonna help more is maybe articles, you know, like
highlight it, get it out there.
Professional articles.
Spread the word. Yes.
You know.
Good. Great
And
answer, to be honest. Like, holy shit.
but yeah, I understand that like financially you can hurt them.
The only one I really want to hurt financially is fucking Bobby Kotick, fucking greedy prick. Anyone that takes massive, ever-growing raises and bonuses and performance things, but doesn't pay the little man underneath who does the work. Because Bobby Kotick doesn't sit there coding all day. Bobby Kotick doesn't sit there testing his games all day. Bobby Kotick doesn't sit there providing support, speaking to the fans, dealing with all the complaints, dealing with all the issues, putting up with all the negative feedback they get when they have to follow these higher ups demands, like, you've got to get this game out now. It's the guys who are actually sat there doing the work. But if these people are in these companies doing that to their subordinates or even just their colleagues, like the same level, they should be fired straight away and they should be charged with some, or they should be put in stocks and bricked.
I mean, being fired isn't enough. It's like they need like jail time probably for some of these people.
Yeah, but okay, Slayer, what about you?
Well, you know, I do agree that it's kind of a moral conundrum because there are like a lot of, you know, factors that you need to kind of consider before you make these kinds of decisions. And, you know, and Alucard is right about what he said when, you know, if you're going to boycott this, you probably have to boycott a lot of things, you know, that goes on in the world. But me personally, you know, as fucked up as this may sound, like, I hope that one of two things happen coming out of this. Either that company just gets...
Censor.
Huh?
Prepare to censor this, okay?
No. Either the company like just disbands and like they get to sell off all their IPs to other companies and you know the developers can find jobs, or like those studios that they have under Activision's banner get to, you know, be sold off to other you know, companies like Microsoft or PlayStation or whatever, Sony, you know, because I think that would, you know, probably be a lot better because, you know, just like Alucard said, like every company, no company's perfect, you know, every one of them has skeletons in their closet, you know, and like so. But I personally would like to see these studios in better hands. Like Microsoft would probably treat these developers a lot better and probably would never let this happen. Like I always thought, like, you know, what if Blizzard ended up merging with Microsoft or being bought out by Microsoft like Bethesda just did? It would have been a lot better for them, you know. And this kind of crap wouldn't probably go on in there.
Or Microsoft or Sony, like let's not say that. Oh yeah, only Microsoft is the best.
No, I know.
For them to work like, or even Sony, like they just
definitely
go to better people. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Like we're not telling, but it's just take a moment to think about stuff. Like if you're a Call of Duty player, there are a lot of different games coming out in a couple of months. There's Battlefield. or there's Halo. Pick one of them instead and play that, and just enjoy yourself, and just know that that money isn't going to, or that we know of, going to the scummiest scummers in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are the dirt. I mean, I will probably buy an Activision game in future. I'm not going to say I'll never buy one, but right now I'm not going to buy the new COD this year. I don't know what else is coming out from Activision, but right now I have no interest in the new COD. I'd rather go for Battlefield or Halo. And two, if they change their practices and stuff, and they show change and remorse, and they rectify things, I'll buy stuff again. But right now, I'm just not going to rush off out of my way and buy stuff. Like, I pre-ordered the last COD. I'm not going to this time. I don't give a shit if it goes back to World War II, which I'm waiting for. It's just life. But it's more, the worst thing is the people that have been affected, and I wish we could send a message to them with support. And that's something. If you see one of these people on Twitter or Facebook or on social media, and you see these messages, share them, share some support, get the word out, because otherwise it'll just get swept under the rug and nothing will ever change like normal. We need to be vocal, and we need to be loud, and something will hopefully get changed.
What I don't want to see is a CEO getting fired and then he gets his fat bonus because it was in his contract. That bullshit happens all the time.
So annoying.
And like, what kind of punishment is that? Like, oh, you got fired, but you got this bonus when you got, because, like, what? Like, and these guys are so rich, probably they're gonna be like, okay, I got fired, I don't care, like. But I mean, there's got to be more than just getting fired, man.
The net worth of the Activision CEO is $600 million, according to Google. He makes 155 million a year, roughly.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
Man, that's what I was gonna say though. Like, the other thing that I hope happens is, like, things actually change, like for them, and like, people actually learn from their mistakes, and they get training, and and they have to, like, actually, be forced to, like, change their practices inside the company. Me personally, like I'm with Ash. Like, I haven't played Call of Duty that much, like, in the past couple of years. Like, I have some of the story-based games that they came out with, but like there was that one game, I think it was like Black Ops 4, that only had Warzone. I never bought that game because I'm not even interested. Like, I don't really play Call of Duty like that anymore. So, for me, it's more of like their other franchises like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Exactly. Like, those games I still love, and I want to keep playing those games.
And like, it is so sad to see that when we finally got a amazing return from Crash, we have this bullshit. This is so like, what a sad way to end this fucking podcast. Well done, Ash.
Well, no, we'll end on a quick positive. I don't want to take away from this message, so please bear everything we've said in mind. Read up about it, get the facts and stuff. But for a lighter bit of note, something cool. It looks like we're getting a Game Pass custom theme for the Xbox Series X and S dashboard. One has popped up, like, the dynamic themes. One has popped up on the insider, like the test wheels. So expect that to come down. And it's basically the background we've had before, with the stairs and the opposite directions and stuff, when the doors and the arcade cabinets, but it moves. So that looks like it's coming for free to everyone soon. It's not the best, most positive. Nice. And I will choose a winner once I got one. Yeah.
Wait a second. I got one thing that may be awesome. That is Shadow of the Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't know. One of the newer Tomb Raider games and Sniper Elite 4 are receiving next-gen upgrades.
Oh. Hey, nice.
They're getting optimized, aren't they?
4K 60. It's going to be 4K 60 or
I haven't played any of those new ones, so I've only played the original the remake, and that one was awesome.
And for what I remember, both of them are free. Smart delivery all the way. Go on, play it. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely,
Nice.
definitely. The Tomb Raider remake trilogy is really, really good. Now, I have the nostalgia for the original, but the new series is really good. And if you like Uncharted, it's basically Uncharted, but with a new name.
Nice.
Even though Uncharted was based on Tomb Raider, it's a weird circle we're in, but it plays like modern Uncharted games, pretty much. And it's really good, really nice story. And they're on sale, I think, as well at the moment on the summer sale. And you can't go wrong with the price on the. I got the ultimate bundle with all the extra content and stuff, and you can't go wrong at the price on the last Christmas sale. So, but yeah, that's a big thank you to everyone who has watched this episode. I'll draw a winner in a minute, and I'll post up on Twitter who's won the poster. I nearly forgot what it was then.
We're giving away something.
Yeah. Next week we'll be sort of having our sort of celebration episode when everyone's here. We're going to have a few guests on, talk about all of our like how great the community has been with us and all the people we've met and stuff, and as well as covering like the news and stuff we do normally. So big thank you to everyone. Like I say, it's been 6 awesome months, 24 episodes so far, and we're not stopping anytime soon. Big thank you to everyone who watches live. Big thank you to everyone who listens on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, everyone who follows us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. Everyone who just interacts with us, watches our YouTube videos, watches all the guys who come on's YouTube videos on their own channels. So a big thank you to that. We're going to keep pumping out content. I've got some stuff in the works that'll be coming sooner rather than later, but it's just taking a bit of time to get it set up. But yeah, you've made us it's been great to have all you guys chatting with us and joining in and the community that's building. I know we're not like huge, but it does mean a lot to us. Even when there's only a couple of yous watching, that's all that matters to us. We're doing this for fun. And yeah, we will see you all next week. Thank you guys for joining. And like I say, 8 p.m. BST, 12 Pacific time, 3 Eastern time, 4 o'clock Brazilian time. Or whatever the Brazilian is it just called Brazilian time?
4 p.m. You can say Brazilian time, no worries.
There you go. It's the only way I could. I just.
I think it's
Googled
GMT-2.
We'll say. I'll do the flags.
I prefer to say Brazilian time, to be honest.
Because GMT, we are the center of the universe. That's why.
Like not even I remember if it is GMT -2 +2. I don't.
But
Brazilian time. That's it.
Yeah, but we'll see you next Saturday. Big thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for joining us. Like Stubbs and Cerebral Paul have been really chatty in the comments. Stubbs says he's fell asleep, but he's woke up. So we're that interested.
Sorry.
Professionals.
That we are that boring. Okay.
But yeah, thank you. We will see you all next week, and we'll be announcing the winner in about 2 seconds over on Twitter. So we'll see you then, and bye for now.
Thanks so much.
Have a good one, everybody.
See you later.
Catch you guys later.